as many others have been, that we'll only be safe when everybody's safe. This is a global pandemic. You can't treat this in a nationalistic way. You can't put up your borders and vaccinate your people and hope that the pandemic will go away. We are only as safe as the last country and the last people who are safe. So it's not only morally right to make sure that we have vaccine equality, but it's also in all of our interests. And that has been at the heart of UK thinking right from the beginning. And I am really proud that from the beginning, the UK, whilst tackling this incredibly complex pandemic, was thinking ahead, was investing in vaccine research, and was working with others to set up a coalition to say, look, if we get some vaccines across the world, if some of these vaccines that we're all working so hard on work, we're going to need to have a pot of money that can buy those vaccines, buy the safe and effective ones, and provide them free of charge to the most vulnerable in the poorest countries of the world. So we got together with a bunch of other countries. We put in over $700 million. We all worked with the WHO, who is leading this, as well as Gavi and CEPI, slightly less well-known but amazing vaccine coalitions. And we worked with them to say, let's get this right for the poorest 92 countries. So the great news is that we raised the money. The great news is that the WHO is systematically going through, looking at the different vaccines and seeing which ones are safe and effective. The Pfizer one is already through. AstraZeneca, Oxford AstraZeneca is any minute now, but they have a list of 27 vaccines they're looking at. And those vaccines, when they're ready, will be made available to those poorest countries. And we just had an announcement only yesterday that Zimbabwe has been allocated 1.1 million vaccines for the first slug of vaccines through before July. And if Zimbabwe can finish its process, finish its paperwork to be fully signed up and applying, then those vaccines can come free of charge to the most vulnerable Zimbabweans. And that is really good news for the world and for Zimbabwe.
I hear you saying there's outstanding papers to be signed for the 1.1 million doses to come through. Can you talk to us about that?
Well, I'm confident that this is underway. And when I saw the Vice President and Minister of Health just before Christmas, we talked about COVAX. He said that there was a high level of commitment from the Zimbabwean government that they were working on the elements they needed to have in place. So I'm very confident that Zimbabwe will be there. And I sincerely hope Zimbabwe is, because as you can imagine, there's high level of competition, not just for vaccines, but for these free vaccines that come with help around the cold chain and actually making sure they get to the people who need them. So as the ambassador to Zimbabwe, I sincerely hope Zimbabwe doesn't lose its place in the queue. I want to see the most vulnerable Zimbabweans getting those vaccines as soon as possible.